Hi guys, it's Friday, and as you know on Friday, anything goes. Today we're looking at another spoken word video, and we've done a few of them before. You may remember we did the album from Saturday Night Live. We've looked at National Lampoon, but today's a little different. Today we're looking at recording by an author, a writer who was one of the main characters in the Beat era. He's had a number of books out, some of them banned, some of them critical flops, some of them have become icons in literature. And of course I'm speaking of William S. Burroughs. And Burroughs continues on where we've gone all week with a recording performed by a person with a very unique style of delivery. And to get a chance to hear Burroughs actually reading or telling his stories is really something very special. It's one thing to read the books, but to hear him tell the stories or read the parts for you, I found that was really, really a great connection. You may remember that probably his most famous book was Naked Lunch, which was turned into a movie a number of years ago, starring Peter Weller and directed by David Cronenberg. A lot of the material is very hard to translate to film because even his books, the chapters, he used to call them routines. There's little individual stories. It doesn't have a straight narrative from one end to the other. And at one point during his career, he got involved in what they called cut-ups, where you would take a text, cut the page into a number of strips, and then rearrange them and make that your new manuscript. And they claimed it kind of told new truths or gave you a deeper meaning in what was there. One of the books I have, Nova Express, really no punctuation, no sentences. There's just little ideas with a dash or a hash mark in between and then the next one. And the pages just kind of flow together. But it is an interesting read. It's an interesting style. It's something that not a lot of people were using. So one of the albums I have one on digital download, Dead City Radio. The first one I bought was on CD, and it's this one called Spare Ass Annie. Now, remember, Burroughs was writing back in the 40s and 50s, and even at that time, he was shocking. I'm going to tell you, this is a lot like what we mentioned with Lampoon. There's a lot of stuff on here that people may find offensive. A lot of things that may not be suitable for everybody. It was written in a whole different era. He had that knack of shocking people. Even in here, there's a number of really unique characteristic stories that he tells. We've got Dr. Benway in an emergency operation, and you may remember Benway shows up a number of times in that interzone area that Burroughs was always referring to. I believe Benway's in Naked Lunch as well. We've got a man that teaches one of his other body parts how to talk. We'll not go into that, but you can explore that one if you like. Story about Junkie's Christmas involves human legs in a suitcase. I mean, these are the kind of things the stories are about. They're very unusual, very different. But again, he was a great writer. He was a great iconic character of that Beat era. And to be able to have him tell those stories, read those stories to you, that's what makes the CD something really special. If you go online to the streaming networks, there are a number of other albums he's done. This one has a musical background to it, a little soundtrack with it as well. But some of the others, I think Dead City Radio did, some of the others are just straight up spoken word. And some of them you can actually hear the audience there that he's performing for them. But Burroughs had a unique style, a unique way of telling a story. And again, it's not for everyone, but it's well worth taking a look at. And it well fit into this week's theme of unusual people doing recordings. I mean, we had Jack Webb on Monday, we've had Bruce Willis on Wednesday, now we've got an author, one of the kings of the Beat era, William S. Burroughs. I also had another book. We talk about the Beat era. Most people think of Jack Kerouac. I had a book where Kerouac and Burroughs exchanged chapters. They take turns writing one. And you can really see the difference in their writing, although they were both from the same area and they were both very influential writers. Burroughs has a very unique style, and again, it really suited itself to audio. So, recommendation, take a look at William S. Burroughs, and like I say, there's a number of different choices on the streaming networks. This was the CD I had, and again, just a word of caution: be cautious. You never know what you might find, and it could be offensive. It's your choice. You'll see some of it has been marked with the E for explicit language. Stay away from those if you really don't feel comfortable with it. But a chance to hear him, it's worth it. Thanks for coming by this week. We had a great week of unusual things. We'll be back to normal next week, where we start off Monday with jazz. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.